Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm just Peachy. How are you doing today? I hope you're good. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, you guys are my little mini peaches now. So I hope you know that. And I'm really grateful for anybody that watches any of my content. So here is some little sketches that I did when I started. When I got up actually the other day, I got this idea in my head. I wanted to make a paint palette, but I couldn't quite decide exactly how I wanted it, so I just started sketching while I was having my cup of tea, and this is what I came up with. It's not perfect, it's not amazing. I think that's the kind of design that I want to go for, and that's just roughly what I did. You don't have to come up with an amazing design before you start. This is a collection of what I'm going to be using, I think. So I've got a rolling pin, which I do actually swap out and use a bigger one. It's not big enough for what I wanted. I've got some water. You always need a little bit of water when you're working with hairdry clay. And I've also got a spray bottle of water, which I don't have in the picture here, but yeah. So, and then I've just got a few tools together that I think I'll end up using. I've got a brush for brushing around the clay, sticking any little pieces together, and then obviously we've got some tools. I've got some carving out tools. I don't know which ones I'm going to need or use until I get going. I'm not a professional, I'm learning, so I hope you're going to learn along with me, and maybe you'll take a little bit of inspiration away from this video to start creating something yourself. So I hope you'll let me know in the comments if you create something or get any inspiration from this. I'd really love to hear about it. So these are the tools I'm going to be using. I don't know all of their names, but so excuse me for not knowing them. I should probably write a list or something. It'd be much easier than trying to rely on my brain. So various just scraping tools for the clay. I've also got a knife there, which is one that I used a lot when I did cakes, and it's one my mum gave me years ago, and it's not especially sharp. I do sharpen it a little bit from time to time just to so it would go through the icing a bit easier, but it's not very sharp, and it was kind of like a really perfect shape for going around the edges and stuff without causing a lot of damage. I really love that knife, so I've now put it in my clay collection. I've got this tool for smoothing out, and it's good for cutting the clay, and obviously we've got our Das air dry clay, which is my favourite to use at the moment, and I've got quite a bit of it, so we have got a bit of a stock up of it now, and I just love working with it. It's a really lovely clay to work with, so I can highly recommend it if you are going to be starting out. Buy a pack of this. You can get it for, in the UK, about a £5. I don't know what it is anywhere else, but roughly about a £5. If you can get it cheaper, awesome. There are other brands, I don't know much about them, but this is the one I'm going to use. So I'm going to get on now and start conditioning this clay. I'm going to condition it because I really want to try and roll it out a nice big solid thick piece, but yeah. So and I've got a bag ready for any offcuts and to cover up the clay to keep it from drying out. So it's not a big deal if it does dry out as such, but it is if you've got a big block of dry unusable type clay. I've got a bit of baking paper to put my piece on so I don't damage my table. So you know, and it's good, you can move your piece about on it, you can move it around, and I end up this piece actually, I do film this over a couple of days and I have to keep spraying the clay because I didn't get round to finishing it. I was trying to record it over a weekend, it wasn't working ever so well, so I'm going to use this ruler, which I was just looking for off camera, and I'm going to use this ruler to cut a nice straight edge for my paint palette. So I'm going to leave you to enjoy the video now. There'll be me popping up here and there, just leaving a few comments, and I hope you guys will leave a few comments down below. Consider subscribing and liking and hitting that notification bell. Share it with your friends and family if they're into their crafts, and I'll see you a bit later in the video. Thanks for watching. So here I'm trying to smooth out the clay, and it's got quite a lot of air in it, so I'm not happy with it at all. It's really bubbly. I'm trying to smooth it and push the air out, but you can see it's kind of dragging, look. So I decided to recondition it a little bit and fold it over. Look, you can see, like, when you try and fold it, it's almost like elephant skinny, and it's like, look, it's not sticking very well at the back. So I start to fold it over and really push that air out to try and get a bit better piece of clay. So yeah, I'm really like pushing really firm on that clay to try and push and squish that air out. So and firm it back together, like I don't know, knead it back together, that's the right term. Yeah. So yeah, this is it looks a bit better when I do this. It does look a bit smoother, not as bubbly, and it rolls out much better. So here we go then. I'm learning as I go. So I think this is like, you know, clay conditioning. I just need to practice a bit more. I'm used to icing sticking together a little bit better when I did cakes, so it's a bit strange for it to not stick together. I keep forgetting you've got to really like mold it together. So here we go. I've got another block now of clay, and when you roll it, you can kind of see it's just a lot more solid, not as bumpy. So yeah, so enjoy, and I'll chat to you guys shortly. Enjoy the video. So off camera, I didn't realise I hadn't pressed record. So off camera, I actually marked out the just roughly on the clay. You can just see my markings here. I got my little ruler and my wood tool, and I measured out these sections to be about 3 centimeters each, so that the letters would be quite even on there. Obviously, I haven't, in my measuring here, I haven't accounted for like the I don't know what you call it, like the little posts between the wells, if you like. So obviously think about that if you're doing this. I do think about it when I'm doing it, but I just didn't draw it on here. You can see I drew like one across the middle just to show a bit of an example, to leave that space so you've got a little bit of you know, something to give you give your paint palette a bit of support across there, I suppose, and divide your wells up. So I hope that kind of explains why I went off camera and it was like playing, and then came back and there was all these lines and grids on here. So that's what I did. So then I'm gonna use the ruler just to draw out like the longer parts of the letters that need to be straight. But yeah, so I'm just going to use this wood tool to carve out around the letters to make the shape. I've not done any tracing on that clay beforehand, so it's me starting afresh. I've just put some little marks across the middles of those last two columns, so that I can roughly gauge where my letters need to end on those columns. So just me working out my little roughly how to get the best design and use of the space on the palette. So you know, you can sort of see I'm trying to make the letters as wide as I can, and so that we've got like these wide wells, but also to make it look a little bit funky, because, you know. So now I'm gonna roughly see, but I want nice straight bits down the sides, so I'm gonna get the ruler and draw that out now. So but enjoy the rest of the process. This is me now starting to carve out the shapes of the letters, and we'll get to carve some clay out shortly. Enjoy! So now I've got my basic shape carved out, and I'm pretty eager to start carving some of this bulky clay out. I'm dying to get going, but I wasn't really sure where to start really. But anyway, and because I've not really done this much before, I wasn't sure of the pressure and things, so you can see I'll start to get going in a minute. And it's really enjoyable, honestly. It's quite satisfying to try and get these really long pieces of clay out. It's really satisfying. So hope you enjoy the process. I'll catch you a little bit later. Enjoy. Hi, just me again. So I've finished carving out most of the shape now, and I'm just collecting up all that clay because there's quite a lot there, and I can use that for another project. So I collect all that up now, and I'm going to start cleaning up my piece. So because I've been carving it for quite a while, it's getting a little bit dry, so I'm going to get my spray bottle and give it a little bit of a spray down, because and just moisten it all up, because now I want to work that shape and get it nice and smooth. So and instead of keep dipping my finger in water, it's just easier just to get that spray bottle, give it a little spray. It's nice and even coat, and rather than, you know, if you get a little bit of water here and there on your finger or a brush, you know, you've got to spread it out. So this, it's just a bit of an easier way. So I'm just having a little tidy round, moving all those bits of clay. So here we go. So just going to give it a little bit of a spray, and then obviously you know, you can see it's a bit hard to work at first because it's dried out a little bit. So so what do you think to the shape? So just peachy. I think it worked out quite well, really. Kind of think now I should have probably done the P a little bit higher than the J, but anyway, it works. So but yeah, that I just wanted it to fit into that space, and it does. So anyway, what do you think to the shape so far? Let me know in the comments. Yeah, so I'll leave you to watch it till near the end. Enjoy the process. Hi, I'm back. I hope you're enjoying the video so far. If you've made it this far in the video, maybe you'll leave me a little peach and a little peach heart in the comments. I hope that you've found some inspiration from this. This is the first palette that I've ever made, so it's a bit exciting for me. We're going to see how it dries. It's still just drying at the moment, so part 2 will be me hopefully completing this palette, or at least showing you how it turns out. So I checked on it last night, and it was it's still a little bit damp in the middle, so it still needed a bit of time to dry. So I'm going to check on that shortly, and then I've got the rabbit video that I am working on, so that's part 1 of that is up as well now. So hopefully you've got a little bit of content now to get going, and hopefully give you guys some inspiration to start, having a little play around with some clay. My daughter loves playing with this stuff as well, so we quite often get it out, and then she can make some shapes and things like that. So yeah, so as I said, I hope you've enjoyed watching me create this. I've never really carved out any clay like this before. As you can see, look, I'm not very good at scoring this and making them stick. I keep forgetting that I need to do both sides, and yeah, so I'm still learning. I hope you're going to carry on learning with me too. And here I'm trying to make some like paintbrush holders. So and I thought that they would look a bit like peaches. We'll see. I might paint them peach, and then they'll probably look a bit more like peaches. So see, look, the brushes sit in them. So when you're painting, you can rest your brushes. Ta-da! Oh look, multiple brushes or tools. So yeah, and I wanted some. With this, I wanted some like deeper wells. I've found that a lot of the palettes that I've got, they've not got big enough or deep enough wells for some of the projects, so I end up using like a little pot or a bowl rather than any paint palette. So, and also I want to see how the glaze will hold up. I haven't decided which one to try for it yet. I might use the Mod Podge dishwasher safe one, because if it's safe for a dishwasher, it should be safe to use it as a paint palette, I would imagine. Hopefully it's not going to peel up or anything. So we'll see. If you put it on like a thin coat and then maybe a bit thicker coat, it should be good, I think. So hopefully you'll join me for part 2. Consider, if you haven't already, subscribing to the channel. You'll get, and then if you tick the notification bell, you'll get the little notifications pop up on your phone, just to let you know when I've uploaded some new content just like this. I'm doing various different crafts. It's not just going to be clay, so in the future, at the moment, clay is my little obsession. So I hope you'll enjoy working on some various different clay projects that I'm doing at the moment to distract me from my housing situation. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I've enjoyed it. I really enjoyed having a go at making this, really did. I have to say, I thoroughly enjoyed sitting down and getting the clay out and measuring this out, working it out from my little sketches. So what do you think? Let me know in the comments. Do you think it turned out a bit like my sketches? Can you see the vision? Can you see what I was trying to create here? You know, from my little sketch while I was having a cup of tea, like thinking, I wonder if I could do it like this, and just taking it from there. And I thought I didn't want to try and work it all out on the clay for this one, so that's why I did the little sketches. I don't always. So now I just want to tidy up around those little peaches that I've added, the little paint brush holders, and there we go. I think we're about ready to set this to dry. So yeah, so I'll leave it on the paper, and I'll put it probably on like a tray or something just to let it dry. I ended up putting it on a cooling rack, actually, because I thought it'd allow air to get all around it, so it kind of dried a bit more evenly rather than around the edges and then possibly cracking a bit in the middle. So anyway, this is my just peachy paint palette. Thanks everybody for watching. If you've made it this far, I really do appreciate your time. It means the world to me. It really does. So I'm so clumsy. But thanks so much, everybody. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Thanks for watching.